This is Robert Good for Positive Strokes. Today I want to talk about what we think we see, but it's not there. What do we think? What do you mean? What do I mean by that? What you think and what you see? Well, here's the thing. Some people look at people and they think by their actions that they understand why they do what they do, how they do it, and the way they do it. Or they may feel that they have a carte blanche on giving the right information because they know better. Hmm. If you was giving the information and you think you have the right information, then why your life is the way it is? Why is your life the way it is? Is your life that great that you have the information that got you beaming? You know, usually when a person focuses on other people's mistakes, they don't want you to look at their mistakes that they made in life. They don't want you to look at them in a negative attitude. They're trying so hard to mask the real person, to put this front up when they're in so much pain. When they're in so much pain. Those people are like you put a pot of water on the stove. You want to boil you some tea or make some coffee. Instant coffee, so you boil the water, and after time, the water boils, and then when it gets to a point, the pressure makes it blow a whistle to let you know that the water's ready. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. If we don't address ourselves and our situations, that eventually we will blow up from all that pressure from the situation. So how can we stop ourselves being like a tea kettle, getting all that selves, get ourselves out of proportion? Well, it's time to look at the hurt and the pain that we've experienced in our lives in a grown up manner. You know, trauma and situations that happen at certain ages and the way we perceive it and stuff and where we accepted it and dealt with it, we dealt it in a certain way to that age. But as we got older and everything, now we can go read back and readdress those problems and those situations and look at it in a very clear manner because we're not looking at the age that we was anymore. We've gained some understanding and wisdom of life, so now we can look at it in a better light. Oh, some people say, well, I don't want to remember that stuff. I don't even know. I don't even go back there. It was so painful. Here's the thing. If we do not close the book on these traumas and these situations in our life, then they'll always be open in our minds. They will always be open in our minds. I'm going to share something with you. I was working for this gentleman in, oh yeah, at the time I was working for, he's worth $150 million. I've shared this in my video, I think, a few times. Uh, but if you lean in a pickup truck, you couldn't tell looking at his picture on the outside that this man was worth $150 million. He lived a good life. He was a fair man, and he lives a good life. He said, the problem is when people see that you got what they want, then it becomes a problem. He says, but if they don't see, then it's not a problem. So, if you got a good wife, people see it, they're going to want it. If you got a good husband, they see it, they're going to want it. If you got a good job, people that work with, they're going to try to get you fired so they can get that job. If a girlfriend sees that you got a good husband, he's there for you 110%, she going to want him for herself. So she going to be cutthroat and try to take him away from you. Same thing with a man. All because they want what they want, and they want it, and they want it now. How do we overcome all these type of obstacles in life? Do we not speak to people? Do we not show compassion and love to one another? Because a person may take it in the wrong light, or they may use that as a stepping stone so they can try to get you. Do you supposed to change who you are so you don't have these problems? It was told to me that in order for you to be who you are, you have to be who you are. You should not allow anybody or anyone to divert you from who you are and the type of person that you are. Do not let somebody get in your head and do all types of things to you so you could change the focus and the way you are as a human being. Don't do that, because you become somebody else and you lose yourself. And once you lose yourself, it takes a lot of work to regain yourself. Let me tell you a story, a true story. There was this gentleman. They told him he could never hit something a football field away. He could never be able to assemble his gun while being in a room filled with tear gas. They told him that since he pissed on himself jumping out the plane, he could never be nothing. He don't have the heart. He's scared. He's incapable of doing all that. When he graduated, he ranked number 2 in his class. He was good at what he's done. He was a sniper and a demolitions expert. He was more valuable on missions. I say all this to tell y'all that anybody can overcome anything if they put the work into it. Put the work into yourself so you can receive the dividends or the blessings from your work. If you're trying to change others and direct other people in their life and their lines and whatever you're trying to do, you're taking the focus off yourself and you're wasting your time and probably missing your blessing that's right in front of you because you're so busy trying to run somebody else's business. You know, in the Bible, they teach you that God is respective of persons. He allows each person to make a decision what they want to do with their life, whether it's for the good or for the bad. Now, if you believe that God created you and He's giving you this option, then who are we as human beings going to tell another human being how they should live their life or what they should and should not do? Didn't think of it like that, did you? You know, I get a chance to talk to a few people about recovery on occasions, and I don't sit up and tell them, well, you should do this or you should do that, or you need to do this. They will not listen to me. They will not even hear my conversation because automatically they tune right out. Defensive wall comes right up, the ears closed, and their mind is somewhere else that fast. But what I say is, well, if you do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. Now, 1 or 2 I can help you with. But if you choose that third one, I wash my hands of it. I can't get involved. You know, but that's your choice. But if you do the 1 and 2, I can see a way of me helping you. But if you take the third choice, oh no, I'm not messing with that one. You being grown, how do you like somebody coming to tell you how to run your household? How about if you're a wife and a mother-in-law will come in and tell you how you need to take care of your household? You don't know what you're doing. But y'all been living together for 10, 15 years, 5, 6, 7, maybe, I don't know. But y'all been working well. Everything's been good. But she gonna come and tell you that y'all don't know what you're doing. You need to be doing this. The interesting thing is, when people say that, they don't know all the facts. They don't know all the facts about what's going on in your relationship, in your household, how you conduct things. Y'all may have a system that's tight. Y'all work different hours. Yo, make sure the house is right. You make sure the stuff is in there. And you got a hell of a system working well and everything is good, but somebody else gonna come and tell you need to do it like this because y'all know what y'all doing. Wow. Do you get your feelings hurt because somebody came in that you looked up to and they hurt your feelings? Listen to what they're saying and then pray for them. Lord, they need your help. Because they're worried about what's going on in my house, but they certainly ain't worrying about what's going on in theirs. Because if they was worrying about what was going on in theirs, they would have the time enough to worry about what's going on in yours. Something to think about, isn't it? How do we think that we know better for somebody? You know, Being a parent, I had my child. I know my child. I know how they is. I know that. I know their behavior. And I know, and I know what's good for them. I'm their mom and daddy. But what people fail to realize that in the Bible it says, "Love covers a multitude of sin." Love covers a multitude of sin. That means that when you have children, you love them unconditionally, and there's a lot of things that you will not see because the love clouds your judgment. Love can cloud your judgment. Sometimes we have to make the hard choices, and we don't want to do that because we don't want to be rejected. But you know what? And the interesting thing, I was taking this course, and they told me, like, well, Robert, you don't have a right to tell anybody what to do because nobody's not going to listen to you anyway. He said, but the interesting thing is, by example, you can move mountains. By example, you can move mountains. So, by you showing in your actions what you're doing and how you're doing it and how it's benefiting you, others will see. And maybe they want to go down that same road or follow the same formula that you follow. Words is one thing, but actions speak volumes. People understand action. I'll give you an example. When my daughter turned 12, my stepdaughter, when she turned 12, the young boy started hitting on her. When she turned 14, it wasn't just the young boys hitting on her anymore. And then when she turned 16, the grown men, single men, married men was hitting on her. She turned 18, we had a conversation. So I said, Renee, I said, what age the boy started hitting on you? She said, when I was 12. I said, she said, yeah. She said, I said, well, you're 18 now, 6 years. She said, Daddy, I done heard all kinds of stories and lies. Just so they can get in my pants or play with my titties. I said, wow. And I never really thought about that. That young girls will be so much pressure behind young boys, older men, married men, single men. I never realized it like that until it was told to me by my child. So, for a woman to look at things in a certain way is quite understandable because they've been hit on and lied on for years, all because of what God gave them between their legs and what's on their chest. Wow. Let's flip the coin a little bit. Men. A woman see a good man, works, takes care of his girlfriend or his wife or his kids, and she got a knucklehead that ain't doing right. I need a man like that. She started looking at him, smiling at him, and he may go help her with certain things out of the kindness of his heart, not trying to get into her pants or trying to have a relationship with her, just being a good steward, as the Bible would say. But she takes it way a step further, and she does all the tricks in the book to get him to go the other way. Why? Because she's in pain. She's missing out. She's hurting. Instead of processing the pain, moving on, and have a little pride about herself, she takes the easy way out and go after somebody else's. Animosity, jealousy, these are the things that destroy relationships. If you want to keep your life good, keep the focus on yourself. Think about what you can do for yourself and your family. Pay attention to your family, because everything is not glitter and gold. Remember that. Everything is not glitter and gold. And the funny thing is, the secrets of the family, the mystery things that nobody wants to talk about, everybody talks about. They just don't talk about it to each other. This is Robert Good for Positive Strokes. I'm glad you had a moment. Just remember, be yourself. Enjoy life. Allow a person to make their own mistakes because they're grown. If God allows them to, who are you to tell them different? Do not let the past mess with your present and destroy your future. Today is the start of a new day. Enjoy what the today brings you. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.